Hello and welcome to the Mary and Teri radio show, or in this case, video. This is the M&T show where we fulfill your heart and soul with divine infused guidance, messages from the other side, and divine directions with personality coach, or should I say empowerment coach, Teri Petrella, and yours truly, psychic medium, Beth Wrenn. This is your show. We listen to your calls and we answer them through the expertise as me as a psychic medium and through the expertise as my empowerment coach, Teri Petrella, will also answer your questions. And I'd like to do a little bit of an introduction because I've known Teri now for nearly 20 years, or Teri, I think that's now over 20 years. And I just want to introduce you to introduce the audience to us because in a sense we work together by complementing each other. What I mean by is I do the psychic side of the future reading where you work on the empowerment side. So in other words, I'll tell you about the directions I foresee in the future, but truly it's up to the listener whether they take the interstate or the scenic route. And Teri will keep you out of the ditches and the potholes and everything else that possibly could happen to you. So Teri, what's going on in your life today?
Oh my goodness. Well, I've just had a great week thus far. It's been awesome. And what I kind of want to do this week, if we can, on the radio, is kind of go back, if we can, to the last caller, which was Pauline.
From Glasgow,
that we had
Scotland.
that we had last week, because I felt like after we were done that there was a lot of confusion, I guess, around what she wanted, what she needed. And I know after that call that she was able to reach out to you via Facebook, and you got a lot of clarity about what was given to her. Can you share with the readers kind of how that went?
Of course. And first of all, quick, big shout out to Pauline in Scotland. Hey, hello there at 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's see, 8 o'clock. Yes, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning in Glasgow time. I understand she was looking for relatives. I think it was her father. And I kept saying the word fork, like a spoon, fork, knife. I kept saying the word fork. When I get visions, what I'll see is I'll get as much details as possible. And so I started telling her about seeing a fork in the road, or if there's a fork name of a road. And I believe she shot me back a message on Facebook with a map. And it sure enough had a fork in the road, not a fork in the road. It was South Fork Road. And then proceeded to I just got a little bit more detail, but I got a lot of detail during the radio show last week. So it's now up to her to take those clues and piece it together and figure out what's going on. Because we psychics, it's not exactly, the most measurable of sciences. You have to take our word and try to figure things out, because sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, or we will get the name Lily. I will say, I see Lily, a flower, and she's like, oh no, it's an ant, or something like that. So that's where the listener has to take the information that we psychics give you and figure it out yourself. That's the jigsaw puzzle. And if anybody has something like that, or they call in tonight, and they want to continue with the reading, by all means, that's where you come in, Teri, and if they want to call the office or what have you, but you can try to explain that, because I'll just keep going. I'm not sure how to segue from that, so take it away, Teri.
Well, I guess what I was trying to get to, and maybe we can help our callers understand really what was going on. Did she lose her father? Was he already passed? Did she not know where he was buried? What was she really looking for? I guess I kind of want to give our listeners a little bit more clarity. Do you remember?
I believe she was looking for a connection to find her father.
Okay.
Of course, I'm sure she's listening tonight in the chat room. I understand that there's a Facebook chat room that coincides with the video, and I bet
Okay.
she's out there. So,
Well, then I would encourage her to please call the office. Let's see if we can't get her, a reading. Your minimum time frame is the 45 minutes. The phone number for our office is 704-566-8300. So hopefully we can get her, even a little more help other than we only had a few moments with her, I think, a few minutes, didn't we,
right.
last time? So,
And Teri, also, since we have a lot of international callers, it's best to find us on the website at www.marybethwrenn, WRENN. Think of like a bird or an angel. It's 2 wings to an angel, 2 wings to a bird, 2 N's at the end of the name. WRENN. If you get super stuck, just Google me and you'll find it. Okay. Just put in Mary Beth Wrenn, psychic medium, and you'll find it. So there I go. I'm noticing I'm talking with my hands again. So I'll stop that. Isn't that an Italian thing? I was about to call you Petrella, obviously, with the last name. That's an Italian thing.
I don't know. I've been doing it all my life. I always talk with my hands. Are you kidding?
No, but here we are on camera, so I got to be so aware.
So is there anything that you want to share with our listeners that, maybe is coming up this week that might be helpful when they're calling in?
Well, just want to go over, I've got a couple cool webinars coming up, and that's going to be on February 2nd. It'll be every Friday. It's going to be called Friday Night Webinars. And on first Fridays, it's connections to the other side. Second Fridays, let me think about this. It's future readings. Third Fridays, energy and aura readings. And then fourth Fridays is educational basics on how to develop your psychic gifts. And it's going to be hosted by Teri and taught by yours truly. So again, check out the website at www.marybethwrenn.com. But you know what, Teri? Let's start talking to the awesome listeners, because really this show is for them. What do you say?
I'm for it. All for it.
Me too. Well, it looks like we have got somebody from Buffalo, New York. And I got to tell you, Helen from Buffalo, you're probably getting a lot of snow. But here in North Carolina, are you? Because here in North Carolina.
There's a lot of snow and it's windy.
You must have brought it down here. I'm in North Carolina, and there's about 4 inches of snow outside.
We got a lot more than that.
Really? But I'll say this, for North Carolina folks and for Southern folks,
we don't get no snow.
That's right, we don't. And we have what we call ATN tires, which stands for anytime now they're going to blow tires, because we drive NASCAR's down here for a reason.
Because you're not used to getting snow.
Helen, what can we do for you this evening?
I have an aunt that passed away. Her name was Frances.
Okay. Don't say anything else.
She has any messages for me?
Okay. Yes, but don't say anything else to me. Okay.
Okay.
If you just want to connect to the other side, all you have to say to me is, I just want to connect to the other side. You didn't even have to go into the detail of who it was. So, because I trust what I hear from the other side more so than what I hear from the living. I know it sounds kind of strange, but as I'm tuning in on you, I'm picking up on a woman who I see a lot of books around her, which tells me that I've got a woman around in your aura field, or it's Frances, who may have been a librarian, a teacher, but I see a lot of books. I'll say lawyer, but I doubt it. I kind of feel this. I keep going back to the word books. Now, if that means Helen,
she had a lot of books.
Is she like me, the book person that has more books than I read?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, she's coming across to me like I'm supposed to mention library or school. So, Helen, it's making me feel like you might be looking at returning to school, or that you're encouraging maybe young folk in your family to go to school, but I'm seeing a university or school, and that's really prominent to Francis, I mean. Hold on. I'm also supposed to tell you the month of April, as if I'm thinking that that's an April time period of death or birth. It might be connected to her or to the sun, who's the Taurus. Does that make sense?
She didn't have fun.
What about you? The sun, who's the Taurus?
I have two sons. One was born in July, and then one was born in December.
I'm still feeling like I'm supposed to acknowledge the male figure who was born in the April month, end of April, which is Taurus to me. April 20th to May 20th is Taurus. And it's coming up around you for some strange reason. But I feel that person's alive. Why Francine's bringing that up? Got me. But I'm supposed to tell you she's encouraging the sons to go to school. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. I'm also supposed to acknowledge to you the stomach, oh God, I hope it's not stomach cancer, stomach pain or stomach issues, whether that's how she passed. Somebody's having stomach issues in that family. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a psychic. I'm just getting the word stomach problems.
That's not how she passed.
All right. And that's where when I can communicate to the other side, I may end up getting another spirit presence with Francine or Francis. But getting back, I'll pull away from that stomach problem for a second. I'm going to pull back to the original message. She's telling me school, higher learning, books, go to school. The kids go to school. Somebody's supposed to go to college and they've been thinking about it, maybe didn't want to go, but will go. She's adamant about books. That's what I got.
Okay.
Help. You know what, Teri?
Yes.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Since Teri, my empowerment personality coach, is here.
Yes.
And Helen, I know that sometimes I say things that may not make sense right away. Teri has been with me for many, many years. And so she might be able to interpret the signals I'm getting to help you understand what I'm hearing, what I'm getting from Francis. Is it Francine or Francis? All right.
Well, they called her Francis. They called her Fran. They called her everything.
Okay. Just don't call her late to dinner. Teri, what you got?
Well, I don't know. I mean, is this your aunt, your mother, who is this that we're talking about?
She was my great aunt. She was my mother's aunt and my great aunt.
Okay. And I don't know why I said aunt first thing, Mary Beth. It just sort of came to me, you know.
Yeah.
It's just something that I'm feeling. Is there anything? Yeah. I don't want you to say a whole lot, quite honestly, because I've watched Mary Beth. I've seen her. I don't want you to say anything. I'm going to give her just a couple seconds here to sort of hone in on that, because I know that when someone comes through and they're wanting to talk to you, there could be multiple personalities on that other side. So she just needs a second here to really hone in on that. So you feeling better, Mary Beth?
Yeah, Teri, thank you for giving me that moment. Helen, the books are coming through as strong with her. So I keep feeling as if she either wrote books, wrote hymnals, wrote poems, or you're supposed to write a book about her or a memoir. And then there's something going on about the boys. Writing with the boys. Of all things, the phone's ringing now. Really? We're in the middle of the show and the phone rings now? Okay, bye phone. I'm going to throw this out the window. Okay, so, all right. Helen, if you have a last name, go ahead. I was just going to say something funny. If you have a last name of a family member named Booker, I'll take it.
No, Booker, no.
Okay. That's what I'm obsessing on in the message. That's the strongest. So I wonder if she's a teacher, but I'm harping on it. So I'm going to back off from Francine. Thank you for making yourself known to me. But your messages might be going to your boys.
Maybe it's going to my boys. That she passed away, and I never really had closure with her death. I don't know if she could tell me anything about that.
Oh, when I speak to the other side, I very rarely will pick up on how they died because the spirit personality is intact. However, the pain of how they passed, they usually don't hold on to it.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I will only pick up the pain if it's an unsolved missing persons or murder case, or if for whatever reason they need to tell you. But that doesn't strike me. Thank God, because that means I would be the psychic pincushion to illness, if you will. So no, I'm sorry, I just didn't pick that up.
So you don't feel none of that then?
No. Not, only if the spirit world tells me to do so. That I listen for details about their life and listen for messages that pertain to you to encourage you going toward the future or family members to the future. What they do is the number one message that the spirit world tells us is that love never died and their personalities are the same. So if they're happy here, they're happy there. If they're grumpy here, they're grumpy there. So I rarely pick up on the physical form, and that's because the physical form is the only thing that died. Everything else is still intact in spirit.
But you said if it was a murder case, you would feel that.
I for some reason, I'm just not picking that up. So I still keep.
I mean, I know I'm not supposed to say too much, but I just like to tell you a little bit. So I was with this man 50 years. He was like 82. He killed her. He killed the dog, and he blew his brains out. And I never had closure with their death. I've never had closure with it.
Helen, have you ever thought about writing a book about that? Because I'm telling you, just from your story alone, you could that story alone could be a lifetime movie. But you could express to other people and teach people how to recognize domestic violence before it has to get to that extreme.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was like that for 50 years, the whole time she was with them, so.
I think you have I think you have a big story there. Consider writing that and put it in her honor. But I kept getting the word book, books, book. So,
well, man, you know something?
What?
You know why you probably see books? Because she used to hide a whole mess of money in books. She had about 20 books with money in them. That's why you see
really?
books.
Then I'd start ripping open books and looking for moolah. But in the meanwhile, consider. Listen, anybody listening to the M&T show, if you're a ghostwriter, or get in touch with Helen in Buffalo. Helen, you're probably going to have to tell our producer your info, because the last thing I'm going to do is just shout out on your phone number. But I think you've got a book here. That's my gut feeling.
I wouldn't even know where to begin to write a book.
So why don't we do this? Why don't sorry to interrupt, Mary Beth, but I would like to try to get another caller in if we can tonight. So if you don't mind, please call our office and I will set something up with Mary Beth, or I'll get you in touch with someone to help you get started to write that book. Absolutely. I'm sure that's why Mary Beth is seeing that. She wants you to maybe get started with that. It sounds like it's something that, maybe you don't know how to do, but we'll get you started. I can certainly help you with that. Absolutely. So just give us a call, okay?
And there's no other messages from my aunt? That was just about a book and going to school?
Yep.
Yeah, so far, for now. We've got very limited time, so I'm sorry about that. But let's try to get to that next caller, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
See, Teri, this is what happens with me, is that when I get into the energy, I get into the passion of the spirit.
Right.
And I'm telling you, this woman kept just showing me this book, and I'm like, okay, maybe she needs to be the new Anne Rule. Yeah. If anybody doesn't know what Anne Rule is, if you like true crime novels, she was the queen of the true crime novel. So, all right.
Yeah, I don't doubt or question you. So we've got another caller.
Take it away, Teri. Who do we have?
It was someone from Washington, and I got to tell you, I didn't catch the name. So,
my name's Laura.
Laura, hi. How are you?
Yes, hi. I'm good. How are you guys tonight?
We're doing great.
It's love life.
Great.
Your question is about love life. So, okay, you're supposed to ask first. Okay, ask
Uh-oh.
first. I feel like Psychic Jeopardy. I'm answering your question before you ask it.
Wait a minute. Time out. So, Laura, is your question about love life?
No, it's about
No
medical.
way. I still want to go to her love life. Oh, okay, I'll be quiet, but I'm telling you, I'm feeling love life.
Okay, Laura, what's your question?
Just basically, is there anything that you guys can pick up on what's going on with my medical situation? Like a rundown briefly, in the last year, I've been having sleepwalking issues, and it's become pretty dangerous.
Oh,
And the doctors don't know why.
telling you, I know this sounds bizarre. I've got to go back to your love life. Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Let me just listen to this for a second.
Sure.
I am getting a strong impression of a man with the letter R like Robert, but I'm getting the impression of a tremendous amount of red energy coming up from the root chakra that's dominating your entire aura field. Now that talks about lust, anger, sex drive, that sort of stuff. Did your sleepwalking flare up after a major breakup or something?
No.
All right, this is just the weirdest feeling I'm getting. I keep seeing a red energy field, and that's showing me like pent up anger, pent up energy, and I feel like it's connected to a man. It is so prominent to me. I'm going to say the word Robert, just get it out of my head. I keep feeling like this is unexpressed or repressed energy connected to a relationship. I wonder if it's a past life or it could be a relative relationship. Parental. My psychic energy is strongly telling me that it has to do with unexpressed emotions in reference to a relationship. It's kind of hard to pin it down here. Now, remember, I'm not a doctor. So I want you to rule out everything from neurology to psychology to psychiatry in dream states. But my intuition keeps screaming at me that it's your root chakras on overdrive. Too much energy there. And the root chakra is where we're talking about blood, life, survival. And if you're sleepwalking, that means you're actually very active when you're dreaming. So active you're walking around.
Right.
Do you know what Reiki is, Laura?
I've heard of the word, but I don't know what it is.
I want you to look up Reiki Master in the Lakewood, Washington area on Google. And I want you to find an energy healer who would be willing to work with you and calm down that root chakra of yours. Because I feel like I'm looking at the rest of your aura, and you have your rainbow chakras are lit up, but that root chakra is brilliant. It's like on high beam. And that has to do with activity in the mind and physicality, and it's like you can't turn your mind off. And when you're sleeping at night, and if you're sleepwalking, if it's become, quote, dangerous, girlfriend, doctor, number one, especially sleep pathologist or neurologist, definitely. Then look up perhaps even a hypnotherapist to help you to stay grounded. But I'm feeling it's coming from relationship. I just can't seem to pin it on who it is, and it's not coming through your subconscious. But it is, I feel it's so strong in that root chakra. That's something else. Teri, what's your opinion on that?
Definitely take care of yourself. Can you think of a relationship that bothered you recently? Do you feel like this is recent, Mary Beth?
Oh, let me see if I can pin it on the time.
Laura.
What's that, Laura?
Laura, what'd you say?
Oh, you said Mary Beth? Is that who?
Yeah.
The other person? Oh, okay.
So I'm
as far as relationships, like male-female relationships, I'm married. So I mean, it couldn't be anything like that. We've had our ups and downs and stuff. Like recently, in the last few years, my mom has passed away. My dad has passed away. A best friend has passed away. So I've lost a lot of loved ones.
Yeah, unless we could try to pinpoint that in the trauma from losing loved ones in the physical realm into the spiritual realm might be a trigger. However, I keep getting the number 8, and I feel like the 8 might be 8 years ago, 8th month of the calendar year, August. Whatever that time, when you asked me about time, the number came up as 8. But I have to go back to the word relationships. I feel like this is a trigger point with relationships. Again, that's what I keep feeling. Laura, this is a fascinating topic. I hope you stay in touch with us. Teri, I've just got the high sun, and it looks like we've got to wrap our show. So thank you for everyone listening tonight. It's been interesting, that's for sure. We'll definitely be doing this next week. And remember, always, reality is what you make it. So make sure you make it the very best, and make sure you check out the MNT show by going to our website, www.marybethwrenn.com. Thank you again, Teri.
Bye, everyone. We'll talk to you next week.